देख रहे हैं आ कलम न्यूज टीवी।
I said it is for the better tomorrow.
करोति कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदां शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशय दीपज्योति नमोऽस्तुते। शुभं करोति कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदां शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशय दीपज्योति नमोऽस्तुते।
See how happy he is. He gets whatever information he needs on the web. Today people are accessing vast amount of information using a variety of devices. In contrast, here is a person who cannot access the internet. Although many websites are available in regional languages, also known as domain names, are available only in English. What if the web address can be in his mother tongue? Yes. That is a great idea. That's where IDNs, internationalized domain names, step in. So, if he wants to access information on farming, he can now visit, for example, merikheti.bharat in Hindi on a browser and access the information highway. It is now possible to access internet using your mother tongue. I can. Nexi and CDAC have worked together to make this possible. This Herculean task has been made possible by the team who are working relentlessly to ensure that the fruits of internet are a possibility. Special care has also been taken to minimize the risks of online frauds. The release of .bharat domain names is a step to bridge the digital divide and will benefit sectors like e-governance, education, agriculture, e-commerce, to name a few. All government schemes can now be made available to the common man in his own script.
Representative of the UNESCO Regional Office here in South Asia, Mr. Samiran Gupta, Vice President for Stakeholder Engagement and Managing Director for the APAC region in ICANN, Dr. Devesh Tyagi, the CEO of Nexi, my colleague in MeitY, Mr. Santosh, who looks after internet governance, ladies and gentlemen. To be honest, I don't know how much I can empower you through just my words, but I think in a number of ways, what we are observing today as the National Universal Acceptance Day can be truly empowering. Sometimes the steps needed to do this seem to be very simple and seem to be very small, but they end up being the most critical blocks in the path for actual access for everybody to something which we take for granted as technology to which we have access, both in terms of our ability to speak, languages in terms of which part of the country we come from, whether it is urban based. It depends on age, it depends on a number of factors, education. So the exclusionary factors can be quite a few, and fundamentally we need to work towards greater inclusion, something which in the initial stages of popularizing the internet was less of a concern, but now that it has become so popular, it is significantly more of a concern. And it is a concern for the precise reasons which is outlined in the video. Of course, one element of that are the real positive developments which can reach people much more easily, where increasingly digital first or digital only are becoming modes in which government outreach happens. And when you have more of digital first and digital only, then ensuring that languages don't become a barrier, particularly in a multilingual country like India, for people to reach that, and technology doesn't become a barrier. We need to simplify this as much as possible. As programmers, as people who inhabit the digital world, many of us marvel at the fact that increasingly a lot of things are no code or low code. We're making life easy for ourselves. But what about making life easy for people who find that first step most difficult to take? I think the mountain that they have to climb is significantly larger than the mountain that the digitally empowered or digitally knowledgeable people have to climb. And I think that is a critical step, and that is the importance of the event today, and that is the importance of this particular effort. I think it is a hugely inclusionary effort, and it is very significant in terms of what the policy objectives of the government of India are and what the policy objectives of MeitY itself are. That we need to be much more inclusionary in the way that we operate and democratize technology, enable access to technology for a lot more people. And increasingly, as more of it is digital driven and technology driven, we have to ensure that people don't get excluded by any kind of means. And this is something which becomes extremely critical in this fashion. And that is, I think, the way that this whole movement towards universal acceptance. We have the first Global Universal Acceptance Day, which we celebrated in 2023. We move forward, and we are doing this in terms of internationalized domain names, which was illustrated in that video, something that we are pushing hard towards, and we have launched through NIXI, and NIXI has been making this effort on a consistent basis to make that happen. Likewise, our own initiative in the ministry of through Bhashini, which is a way by which interchangeably across multiple languages we are able to communicate with each other. These measures are, the Bhashini engines are being applied to a number of applications of government entities and in certain cases even private entities to enable seamless translation from one language to another and enable people to access services in the language of their choice and language of their preference. I think that's become a very critical element. The inclusion part of it, and it's not just a matter of pride. It is, I think that's where we make the mistake. The inclusion is critical in terms of actually ensuring.
आप देख रहे थे जोगेंद्र डोगरा के साथ कलम न्यूज टीवी।